Week 11, music theory, pitches on the staff, and the treble and bass clefs. When we make music on an instrument or sing, we center our music around a key usually. So the key is also a scale, a set of pitches, and they're ascending or descending. And they are named after letters of our alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it goes on and on up the keyboard or up the scale on whatever instruments. When you get from one C to the next C, you have made an octave. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. From C to C is an octave. Right there. They sound very similar. They sound almost the same, except that one is higher. That's because the frequency is cut in half each octave. And so the treble clef is something that we will work on today in class, and we will touch on the bass clef, but not really spend a lot of time there. When they're drawing the treble clef, you can show them step by step. You can take it down like a J, and then you come back like the capital letter D, kind of, only you're gonna cross over and make a big fat circle around. Okay, so hopefully that helped you to visualize how it goes. The bass clef, when you draw it, is just kind of a little dot to start, like an ear, and then after it, 2 dots, bass clef. So the treble clef, when you use your right hand on the piano, you're using the treble clef, the higher pitches. When you're using the left hand, you're using the bass clef. And so in music, you have that you can show them. They will connect the treble clef and bass clef. So your right hand is playing this while your left hand is playing this. And then you move on down to the next set and you're playing them at the same time. So this will be something that you can show them to give them an idea of how they go together, okay? The treble clef is called the G clef because that circle circled around the G line. You're gonna see this in a worksheet that you get to glue into the journals. Right here, it goes right around the G line. We're gonna talk about the G line in a second. And the F clef has those 2 dots that go right around the F line, okay? So the pitch names, we are going to be talking about how you can see them on the staff and on the keyboard. You should have this in your materials. So it just shows how the pitches going up the piano will be seen going up the staff, and that kind of gives a visual for when you're playing it, the higher pitches and the lower pitches and what their names are. You also have this piano diagram, and you can discuss the pattern that they see of black keys and white keys. First of all, there are white keys and black keys. There's part of the pattern. Are they grouped in any specific way? The black keys are 3, then 2, then 3, then 2, all the way up the piano. And when we're talking about those letter names, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, C is the one that we'll focus on. And when you want to find a C on the piano, you look for a pair of black keys grouped in 2, and the white key right before that is a C. So then you'll be able to find any other pitch after that, D, E, F, G, A, B, and if we look again, there's the 2 black keys right before it is a C. So you can find any C on the piano and then figure out the pitch names that follow that, okay? That's the trick. The middle C is about the middle of the piano keyboard, and you just find it before those 2 black keys. So that's something that you also have in your materials that you can show the kids. From C to C is an octave. From D to the next D is an octave. From E to the next E is an octave, okay? And we talked about the pattern and how to find C. You can take and glue into their journals this worksheet that says treble clef and staff on it. And the older classes might also glue this in, which is staff exercises if we have time at the end. It just goes over, you get to fill in the blank kind of a thing. Let's see, they could also, if they're younger, or any class could also, as an option, draw the piano keyboard. So start with a rectangle and draw in all your lines for white keys, and then go in and fill the pattern of 3 black keys. So the key comes right down in the middle of that line. And you can make 3 black keys and then 2 black keys and then 3 black keys. Maybe, what did I say, 15 or 16 white keys is a good number so that you can see the pattern. That might be an option just for fun in their journals also. And maybe they could even label the C's that come right before, on a white key, right before the 2 black keys. The trick that we are going to use today for remembering the staff is our hand, palm facing you. And we have how many lines? We studied this the very first week of music theory. How many lines on the staff? 5. Starting from the bottom up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many spaces in between is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, today we get to learn the treble clef, the names on the staff of the pitches. So starting at the bottom of the staff, we have E, G, B, D, and F is the top line. So we remember in mnemonic, every good boy does fine. Some people say every good boy deserves fudge. Some people make up their own mnemonic. If that sounds fun for your class, you can have them make up a mnemonic. For the spaces, the bottom is F, A, C, E going up, and that spells face. So space, face. And lines, every good boy does fine. Kind of help you remember lines, fine, space, face. Okay. You can have them look at this worksheet in here. It says, tells you about the treble clef and middle C where it's at. And then it gives you right here what the notes on the staff look like. So the bottom line, if there's a note on that line, will be an E. If there's a note on the top line, it will be an F. If the note is in the space, the first space, it'll be an F, the second space an A, and so on. Okay, so that's again practice drawing in lines. I believe we have staff paper that we can use also. Down below, you can go through this with them and they get to practice drawing that treble clef. Take it one step at a time and then fill in the remaining measures. Here, write the letter of the names on the following letter names on the following notes. Use capital letters. So they started with the C, so you can actually go through that with them. Practice identifying it. First, ask them, is it in a space or is it on a line? It's in a space. Okay, what's the rule for spaces? Get out your staff. F-A-C-E. Wait, it's in the third space? F-A-C. So it's a C, and they can write it down. Look at the next one. It's on the second line. Every good. Oh, it's going to be a G. So this is how you can help work through that second line. And then the third line gives you the notes, and you need to, they give you the letter name, and you need to place the note on the staff. So the first one has 2 because F can be found in that first space of face, or it can be found on the top line. Every good boy does fine. Not all of them are going to have 2 notes. The next one, D, is only going to have 1. Every good boy does. On the 4th line will be where you put the note for D. You can go through a couple of those together and let them go after that, or you can do every single one of them together if you have time. Then the bass clef, we just touch on it a little bit. You see here on your lesson plans a different mnemonic. Good boys do fine always. So the names of the lines have changed. They have shifted a little bit on the bass clef. And the space is all cows eat grass, A-C-E-F. E-G, sorry. And middle C again would be looking like this if you saw it on the staff. It's not on the staff, it's below the staff on its own miniature line called a ledger line. And it's in between the treble and bass clef. So you can look at some of our music that, like we showed you Ode to Joy, you can actually see they've told you which pitch these are, E, E, F, G. Okay, you can go on down. You can say, okay, these are the treble and bass clef connected. We don't have to study what the pitches are on the bass clef. That's a little bit more advanced, so we're sticking with basic right now. You can turn this over and you see Amazing Grace, and the pitches are not labeled for you, so you can say, oh, that's middle C. I see it's on its own one ledger line below the treble clef staff. This pitch is in the first space. That's an F. You can talk through a few of them. You could ask them, what pitch does the song end on, the melody end on, not the bass clef, but here on the treble. Ooh, it ends with a rest also after the F. Okay, different note names and values. When you go through and sing, practice today, we're introducing Silent Night and Joy to the World. And Angels We've Heard on High, we're continuing on into verse 2. The lyric pages are what you're going to be using to practice singing. Notice the tempo. Should this be a fast song or a slow song? Somewhere in the middle. When you start singing it, you can use your CDs to follow along with, or you can sing it without anything. Either way, you can find that beat and see, is this grouped in 3s or is it grouped in 4s? And also, one quick mention, on Angels We Have Heard on High, this is our first week as a community introducing verse 1, but we're going to go ahead and work on verse 1 and verse 2 in class. And the refrain is Gloria in excelsis Deo, which goes right here. You just insert it where it says refrain. And then on that third week, verse 3, they're doing 2 verses in a row and then putting in the refrain. So this is just a little different. I just wanted you to notice that before we got there. I think that covers it all. It's written onto the lesson plan, so give that a quick read and introduce Silent Night, introduce Joy to the World, sing through Angels We've Heard on High. And I hope you guys have fun. I have some games planned for week 13 when you guys get them back. Week 12, after Thanksgiving break, I'll take them combined review for 2 classes at a time. And then week 13, I have 2 simple games planned. And one of them has to do with knowing the names of the pitches on the staff. So this will be really helpful for that. And the other one has to do with rhythm fun. Okay? Hope you guys find this helpful.